Hi everyone, this is Dan Underhill with TradeLogger, and I'm going to try to talk through a couple of the basics of importing some data into TradeLogger. I've had a lot of folks ask me questions about how to get data in. The most common way to get data in is just to manually enter it in, but there are other ways to bring data in that are derived from other programs. Most other programs can save data in the shape of a comma delimited file or a tab delimited file, and so TradeLogger can read that information in as well. And let's take a sample comma delimited file. I'll drag it on screen here. And this is just a sampling of some data that is exported from Excel into a comma delimited format. Now, the actual format and the order that the data is in each line is not really important because you will define that, and I'll show you how to define that in TradeLogger. But let's say that you've been keeping data in TradeStation or some other type of program like that, and you've got a lot of past data you don't want to manually enter. It's common to be able to take that data, or at least save data from one application into what's called a CSV format, um, or in other words, just a simple comma or tab delimited format. Comma delimited works fine because I like it because you can see the commas. Since the tab character is kind of an invisible character, you can't really see it. And so you can usually save data out from that and into some format like this. You can open it in Notepad, you can open it in anything you like. And this is just a sample file here that I'm going to kind of show you how to import in really easily in TradeLogger. Um, and represents each row there that I've highlighted represents an individual amount of a trade. Now there's one thing that's important to know first off before we begin to import data into TradeLogger. And first of all, the main thing is TradeLogger does not like $ characters or any other type of character that is going to be in the profit and loss section. The only characters that TradeLogger likes to see in the profit and loss column is a minus sign, if it's a losing trade, um, or a decimal point. But there's no need to put in a $ or a plus sign or any of that. In fact, TradeLogger won't let you do it if you enter it in manually. But if you import data in, and it has characters like that TradeLogger does not like, it could cause errors after you get the data in. It could be unpredictable. So I've highlighted what appears to be the profit and loss here on a particular trade in this comma delimited format, and it's minus 300, and that's fine. What we do not want to see is we do not want to see plus $300, okay, like I've highlighted there, or plus sign 300. If it's a positive profit and loss, then it's just 300. It's just a whole number. If it's a losing trade, then you can add a minus sign in front of it, and that'll work fine. So the only characters that need to be in the profit and loss section are the 0 through 9, a decimal point, or a minus sign. But any other characters that are in there, an alphanumeric character, a $, you name it, those will cause problems when you import data into TradeLogger. Okay, so please be aware of that. All right, let's go ahead and get started then. We've got a fresh TradeLogger application open here. We have no trades recorded in it. We have nothing in there. So let's let's just go through the simple process of importing in a conventional comma delimited file that contains a bunch of trades that we have already taken. And again, we may have exported this data out of TradeStation or some other type of program that we use that will let us export this data.